And with that, as promised, we go to our guest line to bring on the Syracuse legend himself, number 44, Derrick Coleman, joining us on the program. He'll be back in town this weekend for the Orange Legends Celebrity Game and Community Fair, Saturday, 3 o'clock over at Nottingham High School. DC, great to have you on. How are you today?
Always good to hear you guys' voice. How are you?
We're doing great. We're doing great.
Derrick, it's Paulie. Hope you're doing well.
Paulie!
All right. You raised a few eyebrows a few months back, so we're going to just get this out of the way now. You know, when Eddie Lampkin announced that he was going to wear 44, it kind of ruffled some feathers. Have you guys straightened that out? And what was the actual problem with that?
Who are you guys? What are you talking about, Paulie?
There was tweets and stuff that we saw.
Okay, and
I'm just asking. I'm asking if you figured it out, and it's all good now.
It is nothing. First and foremost, I am never upset with a kid. I wish Eddie all the endeavors in life. He makes it to the next level in anything that he's trying to accomplish. The number 44 was not given to me at Syracuse University. I've been wearing 44 all my life because of George Gervin. And for you to just take my number and give it to somebody, yeah, I have a problem with that because I feel that you're watering down the legacy not only of the number 44, but of me, myself. I am Syracuse's only number 1 overall draft pick. I'm in top 10 in every category in Syracuse basketball history, and for you to just give my number to somebody and not call me or say anything, yeah, I have a problem with that.
Okay. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it, and a lot of schools don't retire numbers anymore, and if you didn't know, that's 100% good. I just wanted to get that out of the way, and please don't punch me when I see you on Saturday.
No, there's nothing to punch you about. The thing is, nobody probably even explained to Eddie the history of that number. And that's the problem right there. You got to understand the legacy when you're talking about sports. And no matter what sport it is, Coach Boeheim would have never done that. I remember having a conversation with Coach Boeheim when John Wallace wanted the number. The only reason I told John it was cool for him to get it because I knew John idolized me growing up as a kid.
Let me ask you one more thing. Right now, if you're trying to get players like Eddie Lampkin, and I know they should have probably called you first, but isn't it important for them to now, for Red to build his own legacy, and if it's going to help the program, isn't that the best thing?
Well, how's the number going to help a program? You got to build your own legacy. Oh, let me finish.
Okay.
Like I said, I have 44 all my life. I built my own legacy with the number 44. It has nothing to do with football. And even with Jim Brown, everybody thinks that Syracuse handed Jim Brown the number 44. No, Jim Brown didn't even have a scholarship, Paulie. He didn't have a scholarship to Syracuse. His mentor sent out letters, and 44 people donated money for him to have a scholarship to Syracuse, and that's why he wore the number 44. You see, when he went to the pros, he wore 32. He didn't even wear 44.
All right, let's talk about this weekend. All right?
Yeah.
Good things coming up. I had to do that, Derrick, so don't be mad at me.
No, Paulie, I'm good. Like I said, I'm never mad at a kid. It just shows you the disconnect between Syracuse University and its alumni. That's all. I mean, that's the only problem. We just got to do better as a whole.
Okay. Like you're currently, what's your outlook for this year's team coming up?
I haven't really paid attention, Paul.
All right. The women's basketball program is looking to get help for the NIL, and you got a celebrity game coming up this weekend for Coach Jack at Nottingham. I'll be calling the game with Mario Sacco. What exactly are you doing this weekend?
I think that's great. I just think, again, being able to share the legacy of Felicia Leggett Jack. Felicia is homegrown there in the city of Syracuse. Went to school. We all went to school together at the university. And for her to come back home and to be able to start, winning, having a winning program, winning coach of the year, ACC coach of the year this year, I just thought it's time for us to give her her flowers and give her all the support that we can. With first Friday night, we're going to have a bowling tournament, celebrity bowling with Coach Boeheim and everybody at Apex at the mall, at Destiny's Mall. And then Friday, we're going to do a celebrity basketball game. But more importantly, a whole community affair, getting the people in Syracuse engaged and involved with free health and wellness screening, financial literacy. We're going to have food trucks and everything at Nottingham. So I think it's just great. And she went to Nottingham High School. So being able to give her her flowers, it's all about Felicia Leggett.
Yeah, and it's in part about raising money for NIL and whatnot. I mean, DC, what do you make of like the new age of college athletics with all this money floating around and paying players to play? And I mean, what do you make of the new era of college athletics?
I mean, I'm always about players being able to make money, because when you look at the universities and all the money that they make off of these kids. So I'm always about that. I think the biggest problem is that nobody's explaining to them the financial side of that. Even when you see players making the money that they're making in NIL, which is great, but you got to understand, players are making that money because their parents are still struggling at home. So it's not like they're making the money for themselves. They're making money to help out with their mothers, their siblings, and fathers and everything at home. So I love it. I just think that you have to figure out a way to control it, and the NCAA could have controlled it. They make enough money to pay every student athlete at every university. So that's their way of just wiping their hands with everything and just stepping back. And then they open the portal up. So now you can transfer from any university you want to transfer and not even sit out. You can immediately, go and play and be an impact.
Derrick, do you see a day where that actually does happen, where these kids are actually employees of the universities?
No, I don't. I don't see that at all, because, again, what if it doesn't work out for a kid, at a university? So I don't see them ever becoming employees. And like I said, the NCAA makes enough money to support every student athlete at all sports.
Well, I was going to ask you one more on this. What about multi-year contracts? You see these kids come in and then they leave after a year. If they're going to be adults and sign contracts for money, do you see a day where they're signing multi-years where like, hey, if you're going to sign with Syracuse and we're going to pay you, you're going to be here 2-3 years?
So why does kids have to have loyalty to the universities when the universities don't have loyalty to them? Coaches don't have loyalty to the kids. You can recruit a kid and, if another school comes and offer you a better deal as a coach, you leave. And like, well, I came to school because of, what you promised me. And you're going to another school. So why would you want to have kids have loyalty to the universities?
Circling back to this Legends game, Derrick, some pretty big names here, right? Moten and Owens and Devendorf. Can you give us an idea of, if people come out and support this event, who they're going to see?
I mean, you're going to see those guys that you name. Coleman is coming out to participate. I actually talked to Paul Harris, Scoop Jardine. And again, it's about us, this Orange family, getting together and supporting one of our own with Felicia and helping her raise money to help her with her program. And, if we're truly Orange, then, we come together to help support. But also, it's the community. It's being engaged in Syracuse community. And I think a lot of times that they don't get to see us in that light, because when we're in school, we're moving so fast and doing so many other things. So to be a part of that Syracuse community and let them know that we appreciate them, that's the most important part.
Derrick, I started with a tough question. I'm going to end with this. I'm going to ask you, how do you think you would make it in today's basketball? Because you were, I saw a tweet, I forgot who it was, but they posted a video of you, and it was, you were the first. You were the first stretch four in the NBA.
Yeah.
How would you make it in today's basketball? And would you be better now, or would you have been better then?
At what level? You said college? Or you saying pro?
Well, college, you were ungodly in college, no matter what level. I'm saying at the pro level, your game is it more attuned for today's game or when you were playing?
Yeah, no. I mean, I think for myself, when I look at it, I've always been ahead of the game anyway. You know, like you said, being a person at my height, being able to do everything on a basketball court, I just, thank my coaches for that, not just, putting me at one position all the time. But, yeah, I mean, I'm sure watching the game today, yeah, I would fit right into that because, like you said, you got guys now who they're talking about, oh, he's a stretch forward. But I'm sitting there watching it sometimes, Paulie, and I'm like, well, man, I was doing that 25 years ago. You
also brought up a name that'll be bowling with you on Friday, and Jim Boeheim. And I don't think we've talked to you since he retired. Now that he's retired, what did he mean to you? What did he mean to Syracuse? Maybe just a quick synopsis on his career.
Well, I mean, for a guy who's dedicated his life 40-some plus years, not only to the university but to the city of Syracuse. For him to be able to retire, and I see him all the time doing, the book tours and stuff like that. And I always share with him, like, Coach, you don't owe anybody. Go enjoy life. Go have fun. Go do what you want to do. I called him maybe 3 weeks ago, and he picked the phone up. He was fishing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, Coach, good. Because he's deserving of that. But, again, for him to come out and support Felicia, to come out and bowl and stuff like that. And Coach Fran Brown is going to come out as well. So, it's just this Orange family getting together, having a great time, man, raise some money for Felicia's program. And then Saturday being able to have this community event, which involves everybody in the city of Syracuse, and give Felicia her flowers. She's so deserving, of that.
DC, you bring up Orange family, and you're coming back to town. You had a chance to meet with Fran Brown. You're going to support Felicia. I think there is, to circle back to Paulie's first question, I think there is some concern that maybe your relationship with the basketball program has been fractured. Can you just speak to that? Like, are things smooth over now? And if not, what would have to happen from the university and from the the basketball program to welcome you back with open arms, so to speak?
Well, I think that's a question you need to ask them.
Okay.
All right, and I'll end it. Are you good at bowling?
Of course I am. I'm 44. I'm good at everything.
I have no doubt.
Are you going to bowl?
Yeah, I'll come out and bowl. Who wins, you or Boeheim? Because I think Boeheim's probably sneaky good at bowling.
Well, you know one thing about Coach, he's a hell of a competitor.
Yeah, I've watched him play poker. I'd never play poker with that guy.
Derrick,
exactly.
I've bowled with Paulie before. He's not very good. So if you're picking teams, you don't want Paulie on your team. Trust me.
Well, look, don't be mad. I'm not that good either.
All right. Well, listen, it was great catching up with you. We look forward to seeing you back here in town, and hopefully the event Friday night and then Saturday is a big success for Felicia and the program. Thanks so much for coming on, Derrick. We'll see you this weekend.
Hey, guys, I appreciate everything that you do. Look forward to seeing you guys Friday and Saturday.
All right. There he is.
Thanks, Derrick.